Hello, Assalamualaikum. Still in English language. Hello, Assalamualaikum is in English and a mix with Arabic. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All praise to Allah, the Almighty. Waalaikumsalam to everyone who giving me salam. And let's proceed with the question for this week Q&A. Okay, can I request for time analysis? I just know you because just study forex. I will check if the video for time analysis is relevant for today's standard of regulation or not. If the video is too overpromising, then I cannot make the video public. I'm very sorry, but you can still ask me question if you have any. Can you explain a bit how you view the sequence of price formation? Thank you. Much respect to you. Let me think about it because I need to be careful with my statement so not to give you an investment advice. So before I start, I need to do a little bit of disclaimer where I am not a certified financial advisor. So do not view me as someone that you can take a reliable resource. Make sure if you get any information today, please go back to your financial advisor certified and try to filter out the information that you get today, because everything in my channel is just a general commentary based on my experience in the trading industry. So my major involvement with the financial market is in the forex market. If you are not inclined with forex trading, you should stay away from me. I am a very dangerous person for you. But trading as a general, I can still do technical analysis because that is the basic things a trader should know. And another thing is forex or trading itself is very high risk, so please consult your relevant or certified financial advisor before you do anything with your money. Okay, so this is not a game, this is not something that you can easily jump into and make money from it. You need to study and you need to learn a lot of things before you can start getting any profit out of the market. If you are too impatient, the market will eat you alive. So please be patient and consult your certified financial advisor. Sequence of price formation. Let me see. So for me, I view price in terms of supply and demand. I am a supply and demand trader. So I view price in two point of view, which is when seller exceed buyer and when buyer exceed seller. So in the market there is two participants, which is a buyer and a seller. So these two will fight until another one dominates another one and create an imbalance. Alhamdulillah. And so when seller exceed buyer, what happened to price? What happened to price is it will drop. And what happened when buyer exceed seller? Price will rise. Okay, so this can be explained in a simple supply and demand curve. If we can see over here, I will draw here as a price, and over here is the quantity of supply, quantity of seller or buyer, quantity of seller or buyer, no, quantity of supply and demand. Let me draw the curve first. So this is should be high, low. Over here is low and high. Then we draw the supply curve first. So when the supply is low, price should be high, and when supply is high, the price should be low. So the curve looks like this. It works negatively toward a higher supply, and then we have a demand at high price. Demand usually high. Okay, demand is high. No. Demand is very So for demand, wait, I need to think in English and I need to think in Malay because I am a Malaysian, and I need to convert in English. So my mind become so what is the proper word for it? So hard. Wait. So what happened at the high price? Demand should be low, and when demand price low, no. At the low price, demand should be high. Low price, high demand. Oh, is this wrong? Okay, low demand, low price, high demand. High price, low demand. Okay, and then at the low price, at high supply. What is this? Why I become stupid? Why suddenly I become stupid? This is very basic. Why I become stupid? Two is not doing live. Okay. Okay, demand. This is supply. Supply is low at the low price, and then supply is high at a high price. Why? Because why high? Because supply is equal to seller. So seller seek opportunity to make profit. So at a higher price, there will be more profit. Okay, so this is very basic. And why is demand is very low over here? Is because price is very high. Buyer do not want to buy expensive. It's not do not, because it's just low. So buyer do not incline, buyer are not interested to buy expensive. Most buyer they have lost interest to buy at a higher price. So this is the supply and demand curve, and this supply and demand curve is in imbalance, because it's like this. Buyer do not want to buy at an expensive price, but seller also do not want to sell at the low price. Seller don't want to profit less. So some of the manufacturer or some of the manufacturer they can still sell at a low price when there is a volume. So most of us, if we have involved in a e-commerce business or any business, if we want to compete with big manufacturer like from China or anything, we would surely lose, because they can give a very low price, and the price can go down beyond the cost. So most of the seller will not compete at a low price. But if there is a rise in price, then the seller will more inclined to join the trend to become a seller also. So there will be an increase in a supplier or a provider for the product and service. And then at a higher price, there is one problem. The buyer do not want to spend too much on the same product where they can get lower. But if there is no supply, what happens when there is no supply? Price will rise. No supply. If you can see here, price at the supply, you see this is the red one is a supply, and this color is no, not the one, this one. We want to compare between seller and a buyer. So a seller at this price is very low, and a buyer is very high at this price, this low price. So what happened? Buyer exceed seller. Buyer is high, then buyer is higher than a seller, so price will rise. So it will rise until up here, and then when price came to here, price have becoming too expensive. So over here, seller is very high, but buyer is very low. So what happen when seller exceed buyer? Price will drop. So price will incline to reverse back to this point. So this is point of equilibrium. So if we want to know the sequence of price will this is the sequence of price formation. It's not a price formation, it's a sequence for price movement toward equilibrium. Okay, this is a more proper way for you to say about this formation. So the formation is like this. Price will either rally means a rise or drop, and then the next step will be price to go for equilibrium. Equilibrium is a balanced price where a buyer and seller is unequal. Buyer is the same as the seller, but if the circumstances change, price will become like this. It will turn back to rally or drop because of imbalance. So imbalance is caused from a few things like a change in liquidity, a change in the market participant, change in the geopolitics, and not geopolitics, change in the like at the end of the year there will be a lot of storm, so some fishermen cannot go to fish at the sea, and then it will affect the economy where the country rely mostly on the import and export of seafood or fish like Japan. So it will cause an imbalance in price where the volume of the fish or liquidity of the fish is less than usual, so the price for the fish will rise, something like that. So the sequence is like this: balance, imbalance, balance, imbalance, and price will always try to find a good balance point or a harmony situation towards the buyer and the seller, but it will not last too long because the world will change. Sometimes there are things that will break the equilibrium. I hope you understand. Thank you. Woo. Waalaikumsalam. I do not race. It's just an invitation where my friend invite me to see Kancil Turbo Racing, so I go and watch the race. I need to translate this in English. How to trade when the market is not trending, which means you know the market is in a sideway. So let's see how to trade in a sideway market. How to trade in a sideway market or ranging market. Okay. The price break low. Okay, the price break low. Let's go. We need to write this down. Okay, the price breaks low. Okay, the price break low. Yeah, so break low become lower low. So it should be in a downtrend, but it go up again. So how much Does it break here? High. So it become a higher high. So we want to see what happening over here. We want to know. So if price is coming from a downtrend, then this will be a sign for an end of trend. Okay, so an end of trend need to be followed by a trend. So it need to have another higher high for it to become an uptrend. Okay, but what if price come from below? Okay, so this break create a higher high, and then price come from below. So this is a continuation where you can trade following the trend. This is actually a trade within the trend, and price just making a range over here, just a moment to maybe wait for liquidity. What does we mean by liquidity? This is not the SMC sheet, okay? So this just waiting like liquidity in the market, like London session or a US session, where the session with most liquidity. So price, when it do not have enough liquidity, we just be making a range like this. When there is a big liquidity, it can just follow the trend back or making a reversal. So when it have enough liquidity, it can move better. What to do if H4 just made downtrend? Confirmation. Okay, let's go. Today a lot of questions regarding the trend. Let me drink water first. So over here is a UFC refresh with coconut water. If you see the ingredient, where is the ingredient? Where is the ingredient? The ingredient is 100% coconut water. So why we buy this instead of a real coconut water? Because during the night it's hard to find people selling coconut. So this is a very good electrolyte for you to drink. You can buy it from Shopee. It's very cheap. Tastes good too. What to do if H4 just made a downtrend? Okay, H4 it makes a downtrend. Create a new lower low. Okay, lower low after a long drop. A long drop, and then at H1 it made a uptrend. This is H1. Which to follow and how to identify the H4 will continue doing the low. So at H4, this is the impulse, and over here is the correction. So if you want to know, either it will be following the trend at H4, or this is a sign for H1 to go up. This one can be filtered out by using a trading range method, but this is not a confirmation. Past performance is not guaranteed. So we have the extreme. This is the mid-range, and this is the lower quartile range. Okay, so if price already break the lower quartile range, this it's not a good sign for it to be going down, but we can still have a good how to put this in word. You can still have a slight chance to think that price can go down if price still did not break this mid-range. But if price already reached mid-range, that is your final call. And if price go further beyond this, you must not do any sell position, because price already gives sign that it want to go up. Unless price do something like this, it shows signals within the H1 that it will be going down, something like this. But if price keep on going up until like this, we can safe to say that this is an opportunity for you to buy until here. This is a way for price to make a ranging move, or just break here and pull back to this 25% upper quartile range, and then price can go up there, even though this is a long drop. And usually for this long drop, after a while price can go down to this mid-range of this long drop before it goes up again, because this is a very strong point. So we can look into the chart if we can have any examples. Let's see. For example, this is a long drop. We can draw a Fibonacci. Okay, so this Fibonacci already been custom for mid-range. Okay, so if you can see here, after a long drop, this is M15, and over here we can see at M1. Maybe we can mark this thing. So H4 for H1. So M15 we can see at M5, for example, if we can see any up move. So over here it already created an up move. You can see at M1 we can see a better up move, something like this. So after a long drop, let me just close your message. So after a long drop, price try to make an up move, something like this, but did price manage to get until the mid-range over here? Until the mid-range? No. So if price do not go up to this mid-range, price can still going down, just like this. And if you can see at the current state of the market, price did try to reach at the mid-range, but as it goes to the mid-range, it drop again, it drop again, which means this is a strong downtrend, just like that. UFC, very refreshing coconut water, 100% coconut. It tastes really good. Why is the sign for a fail fake out? Fake out is already a fake or a fail setup, but what is the sign for fake out? Let's see. What is the sign of a fake out? Fake out is a tree drive. So first, a fake out. For those who are new, fake out is a double breakout setup. So how was that? So at first we have a resistance. So resistance, usually it will break. So this is a single breakout, single break. So this for people who trade a breakout strategy, this is a signal for it for buy. This is a signal that telling them to buy the market, and sometimes they wait for a pullback. This is also a setup for buy for most breakout trader, and then price will give a little bit chance for them to buy the market, and then price make the double breakout, and after the double breakout, what did price do is price make a third breakout, 1, 2, 3. So this is a setup that we call as a tree drive. 1, 2, 3 drive, a fake out in a fake out. So usually this setup you can find when price is near a higher supply. So for example, this is a fake out, and then you get another fake out. What? And then you get this one. You can see that price make a tree drive. So let's see what we have over here. We have a supply. Damn boy, it's very simple, just like that. So be careful is if a fake out happen just below a higher let me draw because it's very hard for me to speak. Okay, so this is a bigger TF supply, for example. Okay, and your fake out just happen below here, just a little bit, just a little tiny bit, a little bit of gap. This is also what we call as a light tunnel. Light tunnel means that when price reach here, you go crazy. You go crazy peak trader. So you just click the mouse like you got Parkinson, and then it become a light tunnel. Your chart is very dark, and then suddenly a lot of green line. That green line is the light, and then it create another fake out. So this is 1, 2, 3, a tree drive, just like that. Waalaikumsalam. If I want to buy, if teacher pay zakat, Jais receive? Yes. They receive. They never reject my payment. Can share experience? First, you need to know how much you need to pay for your tax. So you need to have a tax consultant. And then the tax consultant will tell you, in this year you will need to pay certain amount of tax because of your spending, because of your profit, and then from that you will know how much you need to pay for zakat. And then you pay at zakat. For me, for zakat Selangor, I usually go to Bangi because there's not a lot of people there. And then you just pay, they receive. They never reject my payment. They do not say that we need to refund back your money. No, never. So they receive the payment. And I use the slip that I already paid the zakat, that I give to my accountant that say that I already pay a certain amount of zakat, and then it will counter the tax amount that I need to pay. So I just pay less taxes, but I pay a lot of zakat. So because zakat, it will go straight to the Muslim community, and then for taxes is for the government, but I still pay both. You need to pay both. Do not run, you die. How to trade the fake breakout and not the real direction? I'm not sure the question, but I will try to answer. So there is a few ways for you to trade a fake out. So I will tell you only two style. Fake out can be traded as a tree drive, or you can also trade as a pullback price action strategy, pullback price. Okay, so the tree drive I already explained here, where the fake out just happened before the another, the fake out just happened under a certain area of supply. So this is one way of trading the fake out, where you can anticipate where price is gonna go next, or making a stop hunt. Most of them use that term. And another thing is, if there is a HTF supply and a price made a fake out reaching this zone, and what happened, price usually we just go, so we can make a pullback at 2 point. One is at SBR and another one at a left shoulder. What is a SBR? SBR is a support become resistant. This is a very basic technical analysis skill, and then you can anticipate price to pull back here, or price can also pull back here. So how to know? You need to do it. You need to wait for price to tell. You do not understand English, need to speak in Malay. I'm sorry. If you look at my intro, I already went to space, so I need to speak in an international language. Things have changed now. There's a lot of changes in regulation. There's a lot of things change. I like to speak in bahasa Melayu or Malaysia language, and most of my overseas student, if you know, from Africa, from India, from Saudi Arabia, they incline to learn bahasa Melayu because of wanting to learn from me. But for the current regulation, it's hard for me to sell my country, not sell in a bad way, but I want to promote my country, my language to the outside world because of my trading skills. But I can no longer do that. I hope you understand and make peace with the current situation. It's also hard for me to speak in English, so we both in a struggling situation. Alhamdulillah. So you feel very sleepy for me to speak in English. I'm very sorry. You need to find a teacher or a guru or a sifu that can teach you in bahasa Melayu, that is willing to take a risk just to help you. But I am not that kind of guy. I can help you as long as it will not mean bringing unnecessary trouble for me. I can help you as long as you do not give me headaches. So you need to find other teacher that can take a risk to teach you. Currently, I am speaking in English because I want to promote my channel to the outside world. So I need to speak in English. I no longer promoting in a bahasa Melayu or Malaysia. It's very hard for me to speak in English, so I need to practice first before I will open a dedicated English channel. But for now, you need to bear with me. But if you bear with me, I can still answer your question. So it's a win-win situation still. What is the reason for confirmation tabrak? What is tabrak? It's a good thing you have a contoh or an example. Sell at base. Okay, you have a supply base here. For example, you sell here. Okay, price here, sell. Okay, and then got a triple soldier bearish. This is not you have this too. This is a 3 white soldier and 3 black crow. So if you are learning candlestick pattern, please memorize the name correctly. 3 white soldier, 3 black crow. 3 white soldier, 3 black crow. Okay. A few pips and market fly. Okay, so it made a 3 black crow. 1, 2, 3, and they go up. So this means that price is following the current trend. For price to go to your sell area, it will make a rally move, and when price go down, it make a pullback, and then this just an impulse that carrying the trend. It just like that. You just need to know that if you are trading reversal, just make sure it make a lower low or a structure breaker and confirming the trend before you can safely consider it as a bearish market. Good thing for me to have an electrolyte beside me. This is a UFC refresh coconut water. You can buy at Shopee. Very refreshing. What is the function of a 26 candle? You need to ask people that use the 26 candle. I do not teach it here. Hi teacher, can we just trade using RBR, RBD, DBR? Yes, you can, but please add another one. You need a DBD also, drop base drop. Hello. I have said before during live, asking to come to Malaysia for offline seminar. Got cardinal based knowledge. I wait until now, got no offline seminar. You have your chances before, but the chances already gone because I no longer can make seminar in Malaysia, and it is the reality that is very hard to swallow, but you need to accept it anyway. I'm very sorry. you need to blame a certain person for me to not be able to do that anymore. So we are not going to look for double top at upper quarter range. Yes, you can. Extreme area up for sell after he break the mid range. After he break the mid range, you need to wait for a reversal setup. One of it is the double top that you mentioned there. Or you can have other pattern also like Quasimodo, head and shoulder, whipsaw engulfing. Anything that can confirm that price can respect the mid range. We will just focus position to go up. The bias at the moment is for price to go up, but we still cannot confirm because unless price able to break the extreme, it does not say that price gives signals that it want to go up, because currently price in a downtrend, and in a trend we got the final extreme. That final extreme need to be broken and created a structure breaker, and that structure breaker need to create another break for it to become an uptrend. But if it just break the mid range, there is still no structure breaker for it to be a sign for an end of trend. So currently the price is in a range kind of manner, so you cannot decide either price gonna goes up or goes down. But there is a safe way to trade within the range, like you trade using the pattern, or just go to the lower time frame and see the trend within the range, something like that. I want to speak in Malay right now, but I cannot do that anymore. I'm very sorry. It's good. Since when need to learn in English? We already done this since a few weeks ago. I think since October, since last month. How to study time analysis? You can just Google. You will see one of the founder of the time analysis, Balhana. You can learn from him. He is a trader from Korea, so you can learn from him also. Alhamdulillah. Teacher, we must test every year, right? Yes, but submit the document every month or only every year. That depends on you. Either you want to have a PCB. If you are living in Malaysia, PCB is a potongan cukai bulanan or a monthly tax reduction. You can do that, and at the end of the year you can calculate either your profit is bigger or less. Then if it is less, then HDM will pay you back your own money. You think that they give you money, but it's actually your money they're giving you. They're giving back your money, so you get a tax refund. But usually I do the monthly one because it is easier to track, and if my profit is bigger, I just need to add on the tax, so it will not be a big burden for me. For example, if you do it by yearly, suddenly at the end of the year you need to pay 200,000, you will become backflip. You just backflip at the spot. You know, you do not know how to backflip, but suddenly you know how to backflip. You just backflip. But if you already pay monthly, so at the end of the year it will not be too big of an amount, because you already cut that big amount into 12 months in a smaller pieces. So if you want to backflip, it will be harder for you. But if you pay every year, once every year, you can do backflip. But if you do not pay any taxes, after a few years they caught you, you can do double backflip. You can do double backflip at the spot you are standing. You can do double backflip. No matter you are a very heavyweight champion or you are skinny, you never do backflip, you can do double backflip at that moment. you can also land a triple backflip because the penalty is 300%, which means if you are only able, if you only need to pay 100,000, it become 300,000 now. Congratulations. You just suffer a debt without making one. So think wisely. Either you want to make business or not. How to trade the fish that's still in the water? Scam the people. So can you explain a bit about key level and how to use it for entry? Before you find a key level, you need to have a proper setup. A key level should be like this in your trading system. So in a trading system or plan, first I will put in money management as a first step. So how much I will allocate my risk, how much lot size or contract size I will put in the market. So that will be the first one. How much is my capital for today's trade, and what is my maximum that I am willing to lose. So that is money management. That is the first thing that you should do. And then the second thing is the technical analysis part. So at first I will look into what's on the news today. What's on the news today? So I'm looking for the most volatile market of the day. For example, on that certain day, there's a lot of Canada news, high impact news, and US dollar news. So I will focus on those two pair. So we already got our pair to trade, and then we look for setup. So a setup can be combined in a few steps. So in step A, we look for the exit. To look for the exit, you need to know the trend, the current market, where it will go. You do not want to know where is the entry. People always go into the market and think that entry is the most important things in the world. You can look into the SMC setup or any setup. They always look for an entry, but they never tell you about an exit. You can see a lot of people doing classes how to enter the market, how to get a sharp entry, how to get a zero float entry. But is there any classes that can teach you where to exit properly, where to sniper exit, where to zero float exit? Can you show me the exit? Because you can get the most perfect entry, but you can still lose your money if you exit in a loss. But if you can exit in a profit, you can make money even if your setup or your entry is not that good. So please focus on your exit first. You can use a trend or a base to base setup, as long as you have reason where the price gonna go. So if it's gonna go up, until what point? So you need to know where you want to exit. And then B, your entry. This one you think of your entry as the setup. This is the setup. This setup is entry and exit setup. This is the actual setup. Either you want to trade the Quasimodo or the swap zone or DBD, anything that is relevant toward the exit. This entry must be relevant with the exit. If you see a setup but it against the exit, then it is a wrong way for you to do the analysis. So the entry must confirm the exit, not the other way around. So after you have decided, for example, you have a swap zone, then you find the key level. Key level is just a way for you to fine tune, for you to have a lower or a lower risk zone, something like that. And then the final one is the recording. Record the trade. You need to have the screenshot, why you enter, why you exit, what happened to the market. So this is the flow for the trading system. So after you record the trade, you will have a result why either you follow the money management or not. Either the pair did give you a better edge in the market. If the exit is did the price reach to the exit, what happened to price before it goes to the exit. Either you got stop out or stop loss before it goes to the exit, or is it the price did go against the trend or against your exit. You need to write everything so you can be better. But this key level is just a bonus, just a bonus. It's not a necessary. So please, before you think of this key level, make sure you know where to exit and make sure you know where to entry. And for key level, for example, you want to trade here. Okay, you already have a setup here. For example, I will close your panel so you can see the chart better. So this is where you want to trade. So what setup is near the mid range. It's very hard for me to speak. And over here you can see there is a swap zone, so you can mark the swap zone. Let's see. Oh. Okay, for example, you have this swap zone. Okay, and then you can find the key level. So the key level, usually you can see if price touch a lot of price visiting the level. For example, over here we can see, maybe we can turn to the line chart to see better. If you can see over here, no, it must be over here. Maybe we can find here. No, just make sure a lot of price touch the level. I think it's over here. No, over here. Okay, over here is 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. So there's a lot of price getting there. But if you can see here, you go for a sharp entry and then you miss a few pips, like 1.4 pips, and then you miss the opportunity. So for me, it's best for you to focus on the exit and do not go too far to get the perfect entry, because sometimes the perfect entry will make you suffer more when you miss a good setup. That setup should be good enough, but you are looking into a sniper entry and you miss your opportunity. So it's a bad way for you to lose a trade that day. How to know market was creating sideway phase? To know sideway was end. Sideway usually start when price are unable to create a lower low or a higher high. For example, over here we can see price. Let me just clear things up. You can see here 1, this is the extreme, 2, 3, 4, and maybe we can include this also. You have a little break there. Okay, and then price creating a higher high, high low, higher high, then lower low. If you can see here, from market that expanding like this, suddenly price creating a cluster, you know, a cluster of small trend breaking up and down. You see price already break here, this one, price already break this one, and then price making a drop again over here. So it become a cluster, it becomes somewhat of a range or a sideway. So we can safe to say that price at this moment is making a sideway. Oh, I tabrak cat me, or tabrak means a dead market. So let's see the question again. The tabrak. Okay, confirmation that can be dead. It's okay. I do not know what tabrak mean. I still use the 3 black crow, still profitable, alhamdulillah. So do not be afraid of one failed setup. It is not an end of the world. Actually, all setup is the same. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, but you just need to make sure it works more than it not work. Teacher, do you have a racing team? Insyaallah. Waalaikumsalam. I'm confused how to trade double top. First stop has to be impulse or correction. The pattern need to create somewhat of a ranging market so you can take the trade. And is there any difference trading double top as a chart pattern and price action? It's still the same thing, it's just the way you see it. So if you take it as a price action, price will react to the base or any setup at the higher time frame and created a pattern, as you can see, as a double top. And the way that you want to trade the double top is still the same, trade at the second top. So if it's an impulse or correction, I say that the pattern need to be in a corrective way. So price drop and then make a correction, something like that. It's already been 1 hour, our live stream, so I should be going right now. So I will just look into your question as fast as I could. Thank you for answering my question. I currently using the knowledge only, testing if I can trade properly or not. Mastery takes time. Mastery takes time. Teacher, is using breakout pullback entry BBRE enough for me? It's enough. You just need to master it first, because before you make any silly move like depositing into an unregulated broker. So make sure you just trade demo account, practice well, and make sure you really master the setup. Because if you remove the BBRE and you just use the breakout pullback entry, you already using most of the setup that the if you ask Warren Buffett, he also used this setup. So don't worry, just make sure you stick to your plan. BBE, BBRE enough with HTF direction is enough. Just make sure you master it properly. BBRE and BBE is such a good entry, alhamdulillah, very nice. I know you after your seminar. Then regulation change. I think I just have to live with it. Damn, but it's live. Thank you. Welcome. Like shaking. I see teacher speak. You can shake well. I long didn't follow. I shock monkey listening to English. Me too, shock gorilla. Give back what we got. Meaning I have to learn on putih English to understand you clearly. Marvelous, cause I love your explanation. Thank you. Yes, must in English. Gold member, do not forget to join our gold member Telegram group. Just inform the admin. You got in JPL. Your entry is my TP. Teacher, do people can be profitable trader by just stick hard to market movement all time? I mean by just understand the rhythm of the market, even they not learning any technical analysis. If you understand the rhythm of the market, you are a technical analyst. You do not need a paper that tell you you can drive a car. You do not need a paper that tell you you can do analysis. As long as you are able to analysis, you are an analyst. There is no define that, but in a professional way, you need a certification. But if you are able to read the market movement, the rhythm, you are an analyst, you are a chartist. So no one can say otherwise because you are a trader. You know who you are. Is it possible if you show us good exit in the market? I cannot know. I no longer can show you that. Previously, before this regulation change and anything, I can still show you how to exit with weekly analysis and such. But I can no longer show you that. But I can teach you that you just need to follow the trend, but do not follow the trend like if it is in a downtrend. This means that you can sell. No, that is not following the trend. That is just you not follow the trend. You just got blown by the trend. You just got stuck in the trend. You need to know where the trend is going. For example, it's like this. You see a car, it gives a signal to the right, and then the front tire move to the left. Which one will you follow? You follow the trend of the tire going to the left, or you follow the signal telling he's going to the right? You will read the tire if you are a good driver. But if you are still new, you learn that giving signal to the right, meaning you are telling people you want to go to the right. But when people do otherwise, you will get accident. Something like that. That is just a way for me to explain in the market. So if price is doing an impulse, before price completing its range, you already caught in the trend and making profit from the movement. That is what I mean. You need to look in one step into the future. So key level is SNR level, something like that, where price interact many times. It's a significant support resistance level. How to learn to find an exit? You just need to learn the trend. You just need to learn the trend. Tabrak is hitting, break. Okay, I understand now. Basic. Then go find engulf, correct? But it's still the same thing. Can you explain HSA? I think I missed out. How can I apply for it? You need to have basic reading skill. You will find out about it. Thank you so much. So basically all chart pattern have to be in correlation. It's not all. all chat, but it's not all the necessary one. You do not want every chat pattern in one setup. You just need to have one setup, one setup for exit and one setup for entry. For example, this is a downtrend, this is a double top, and then you combine it together, you become a double top in a downtrend, like that. You do not want double top with saw engulfing Quasimodo in a one setup. You can have that, but too much information is not good also. Sometimes less is better. More doesn't mean better. Like that. Woo! It's very struggling for a moment for me to do this live stream in English. It's very hard for me. HTF H4 trend, H115 middle time frame SND zone. No, H4 is zone, H115 trend, LTF and GAF. Why is the zone is smaller? Yeah, I think you can also do that. Okay, H4 trend, and then the H1 or M15 you got supply zone in the middle of the trend, and then you got an engulf at M5. Okay, but you will not be able to trade beautifully if you are using this style, because you are trading a reversal. You need to focus on a continuation, because continuation setup give you trend. But if you are trading like this, you will most likely to be hitting SL more than you hit your TP, because you are trading the reversal. Just make sure your risk and reward ratio is good enough for reversal trade for you to be profitable. Where to learn BBRE and BBE? You can ask me in our next YouTube live stream. I will teach you. Market structure, shadow or body, you can learn to mark using body first, and then you can correlate with shadow later. Just make sure you can mark it, label it properly first. BBRE and BBE already been removed since not since actually related, since before 1 November I already removed everything, so I'm very sorry. It's the things that we must accept. You are the one that made those fools become rich and do stupid things, running ads, telling people that trading is easy, making false promise, making my industry like a money game or Ponzi scheme, taking people money, telling them that they can become rich in one day, got 100% win rate, can make you rich by joining private channel. You support this guy, these people, and they do stupid things, and we all suffer. It's like an idiom in bahasa Melayu. It sounds like this if translated in English. Because of one bullshit, one bucket of milk becomes spoiled. Thank you. See you next week. Inshallah. Assalamualaikum. Peace.